Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to One Sober to Another. I'm Wayne, and I'm an alcoholic. Today's daily reflection is a little bit different. It all kind of ties in with came to believe in a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity. This guy. Look, there's a whole lot of egotistical bull crap that went on when I was drinking, and I was the almighty, all in charge of my own world. I was completely wrong, and I didn't even realize that I was wrong because I was too stubborn and too egotistical and too narcissistic to admit it. Right now, I'm in a studio that looks like it's an 80s little B-flick TV show that they have to show on PBS in order to get ratings just to keep them alive. And I have Rona hair that is spiraling out of control. My ego does not run me as much as it used to. Now, I'm still a little egotistical, but not as much, and I'm humble enough to admit when I'm wrong. I hope that I'm not catching a lot of feedback on this mic, but we'll find out. Guess what? I'm imperfect, and I can admit that now, because I know certain things about myself, and I don't have to try to control every single thing that goes on in my life. That brings us to today's daily reflection for 2 February 2021, Rescued by surrendering. Let's go. Alright, if you feel like you have to control every single thing in your life, and you feel like if you don't, things are just going to go whack. If you're great at your job, and you feel like if you leave, everything's going to fall apart, maybe this applies directly to you. Let's get it. Rescued by surrendering. Characteristic of the so-called typical alcoholic is a narcissistic, egocentric core dominated by feelings of omnipotence, intent on maintaining at all costs its inner integrity. Inwardly, the alcoholic brooks no control from man or God. He or she, the alcoholic, is a must be the master of his or her destiny. He will fight to the end to preserve that position. AA Comes of Age, page 311, and I will put that link in the description below, folks. The great mystery is, why do some of us die alcoholic deaths? Fighting to preserve the independence of our ego, while others seem to sober up effortlessly in AA. Help from a higher power. The gift of sobriety came to me when an otherwise unexplained desire to stop drinking coincided with my willingness to accept the suggestions of the men and women of Alcoholics Anonymous. I had to surrender, for only by reaching out to God and my fellows could I be rescued. You're daggone right. I controlled every single thing in my universe, and it had to be my way or no way at all. And I almost died in alcoholic deaths, folks. Death. I almost died in alcoholic death. And that is no bullcrap, folks. I would have went to my grave saying, I control this drink. I control how much I can consume. I control if I have a problem or not. Truth is, I didn't have control over a single thing in my life. It was all out of whack. Yet I was willing to die thinking that I had control over everything and that nobody could tell me any better. Not God, not a higher power, not people in AA, because Alcoholics Anonymous is not everybody's gig. But if it is, folks, then this applies directly, because I'm going to drop this book now. The people and men and women of Alcoholics Anonymous are alcoholics who share their experience, strength, and hope. Not a cult, not some magical experience that's going to happen unless you open your ears, you pay attention to what's being said, people's stories, and the lessons they learned from them. That is where that lies. And that is where the truth for somebody like me absolutely was. I did not listen to anybody before I ended up crashing. My friends used to tell me, Wayne, you drink way too much, and we're not going out with you this weekend, because every time we do, something happens to where we have to either look for you, we have to call the cops, we have to call an ambulance, we have to call your wife, and we're just not doing that, man. And I was like, man, these dudes are full of shit. Why every time like I want to party, they don't want to party? I drink like an alcoholic drinks, until it's all gone. And matter of fact, if they were passed out, I was stealing their beer. They didn't want to hang out with me because every time they did, something catastrophic happened, and something that they couldn't control always happened to me. And I was the supervisor of most of them. That's the insane part. But I still thought I had control, and I still thought, I'm still awesome and they should hang out with me. And when they didn't, when they rejected me, man, I was PO'd, pissed off like nobody's business, and I resented all of them for it, and I truly thought they were out of their freaking minds. Well, when I went to rehab, I learned a few things about myself. I learned, I am a narcissist, because if it's not going to satisfy me at the time, I don't want anything to do with it, and if I'm doing it, it's got to be done my way. That, folks, led me nowhere. And it led me down those train tracks that crashed me into the mountainside, and I couldn't break free of them. And also, when I went to rehab, I learned that I am not the center of the universe. And, that was mind-blowing for me, because I didn't want to admit that to anybody, because I truly thought I was the end-all, be-all. So there I was learning these things, and then I went to Alcoholics Anonymous. When I went to Alcoholics Anonymous, I seriously thought that they were full of crap and that everybody there could not be this happy. They could not. And they all talked about surrender, and they all talked about, giving up self-will, and not to the point where, they didn't decide what they want to eat or decide what they want to wear and all that. They were giving up the fact that their will led them to the drink, and that they were going to give that to their higher power. They were going to give to their higher power their problems, because when we, the alcoholic, try to solve our problems, we try to make it our way and to suit our needs and our life at that time, instead of how it is and the reality of a situation versus what we want it to be. That's how this alcoholic solves his problems, is that I'm going to make it fit my situation regardless. I learned that if I surrender my will over to the care and the love of God, and for me it's God. Yeah, I don't know what your higher power is. Like I always say, you put your higher power down below. Matter of fact, in the comments, put what your higher power is if you believe in one. And if you put your strength into something greater than yourself, put what that is below so someone else can see that. Look, I make these videos all the time, folks, and that's the daily reflections for today. I make these videos all the time, and I make them for you. And I make them to keep me sober and to help you either get sober or for you to stay sober as well, by being able to take a little bit of something to think about, and maybe you can apply it in your life. A lot of folks are out of control, and that's based off of a lot of things going on right now. The new president, the old president, the COVID-19, everything that is still just a mess, the weather, the blizzards, and all that. A lot of folks need hope, and we can be that hope for them, and we can share our experiences and what we have learned from them with everybody, and you can be a part of that as well. And everybody here at One Sober to Another, the whole cast behind me, can all be a part of that. If you've gotten anything out of today's daily reflection, hit that like button and give a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Take the time, hit that tab, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything on One Sober to Another. And guess what, folks? I'm going to try that live stream again this weekend. I'm working with StreamYard, so it should be a little bit gooder. And if you want to be a part of that, the topic, here's the topic. It's going to be, are you sober, regardless of what you're coming off of, alcoholic or addict? Are you sober if you smoke pot? I don't know. I know what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below, as well as be a part of the discussion this weekend, this Saturday on One Sober to Another. I'll be sure to announce the time, and you guys have a great day. Wait. Life's a garden. Dig it. I'm going to see you in the next one. Have a great day.